Hey, gang, and welcome to the final countdown to Horror Hound weekend for the upcoming Horror Hound weekend, where Robert Englund is the headliner. But there are other very important guests as well, which I'm going to outline one final time for you. There is one additional cancellation. I don't think there's been any more. Mikey Madison, of course, was the first cancellation due to work. We have one more, which I'm going to talk about. Uh, and also a little bit of additional information about Robert Englund and his I can't talk, appearance at the upcoming Horror Hound weekend, taking place this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 13th, 14th, and 15th of September. So I'm not going to be there Friday, but I am going to be there Saturday, most of the day. Where I will be trying to film as much as I can of the convention to give you a bird's eye view of what's going on. If you've never been to a convention, or perhaps you've been to some horror conventions and haven't been to a horror hound convention in particular. And I will see what I can get filmed there at Horror Hound Weekend. Me and Steve will also be doing an exclusive Highway to Hell, going to Horror Hound, at Horror Hound, and coming back from Horror Hound. So you will get the inside scoop as much as Steve and I can provide this weekend. So stay tuned for all of that. And so let's get to this. I do have a new t-shirt. This is not one that I made. This is one I picked up at Kohl's today, or actually Steve got for me. It is Snoopy lying on top of a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween. If you have a Kohl's near you, I'd check out their t-shirt selection. They've got a lot of cool horror-related designs for the upcoming Halloween season. So be sure to check that out. They are on sale right now. They were originally priced at $15. They had them down to $9.99 a piece. Might as well say $10. And then we got an additional $5 off. They took $2.50 off of each shirt. I got this one. Steve got Bigfoot or Sasquatch and a bunch of UFOs flying around. So really cool shirt that he ended up getting. So let's get to the matter at hand here. I am going to share my screen with you. Give me just 1 second here. All right. Of course, you can check out all of this at horrorhoundweekend.com. Click on the shows. You should be able to access the very screen that I am showing to you right now. Robert Englund is still the headliner. We're going to talk a little bit more about Robert Englund here in just a sec, but I want to go over these other guests as well because they are as equally important. Some people may think they're more important than Robert Englund. Robert Englund is on my bucket list, so that's a big deal for me, hence me getting the photo op on Saturday for him. Okay. So, Kevin Smith is also going to be at Horror Hound Weekend, but Friday only, folks. So, if you're planning on meeting Kevin Smith or getting a photo op with Kevin Smith, make sure you are there on Friday. Okay. Jason Mewes, Jason Lee, Cole Sprouse, Catherine Newton. Catherine Newton is going to be there Saturday only, folks. So if you want to meet or get a photo with Catherine, you got to make sure you're there on Saturday for that. Skeet Ulrich, Melissa Barrera, Kevin Durand, Alicia Weir, Andy Matichak has been added from Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. She's also on Foxhole, Assimilate, Miles, Sun, and Orange is the New Black. Joey Lauren Adams has been added. I thought Steve might be excited about that, but he didn't seem to be excited. But from Chasing Amy, Mallrats, Dazed and Confused. That's what I'm most familiar with. I have seen Chasing Amy and Mallrats. Still the King, Animal, Biodome, Big Daddy, United States of Terra, and Coneheads. Lulu Wilson, Eddie Steeples, Dermot Mulroney, Tony Revolori, Mitch Pileggi, Tom Atkins, Jason Lively, Jill Whitlow, Stephen Marshall, Alan Kaiser, Heather Langenkamp, Amanda Wiss, Ronnie Blakely, Tuesday Night, Toy Newkirk, Brooke Thies, Brooke Bundy, C.J. Graham, Don Shanks, Lou David, Lisa Schrage, Robert Brian Wilson, Eric Freeman, Scott McDonald, Peter Cowper, Scott Ian, Erie Vaughn, John Christ or Christ, Paul Clemens, Leslie Hoffman, Tony Cecere and his daughters Adrienne and Coy Cecere, Joanne Willett from A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Real Genius, and Just the 10 of Us. There's another Just the 10 of Us alumni that was also in a Nightmare on Elm Street film. Another musical guest, Zombeast. They're going to have the Riot Rose Cabaret performing Saturday evening. Dave Nessler. And the two cancellations, Mikey Madison has canceled due to work. She's rescheduled for March 2025, so never fear, folks that wanted to see Mikey Madison. Hopefully she will be at the March 2025 show. Sonia Amar also had to cancel due to work. She is also rescheduled for March 2025. And speaking of the March 2025 show, I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to go back to the screen. Speaking of that show, Candace and I, our plans are to be selling our wares at the March 2025 Horror Hound Weekend show. I will have candles. I will have t-shirts. I'm going to try to have some of my teas there for you guys to purchase should you feel the need. So we're really excited about starting that business venture. We will be under the collective name of Lethal Ladies Incorporated. I already have the shirt design. I've got to make Candace's shirt before the following March for her. So we will have matching Lethal Ladies Incorporated shirts, all for that weekend. And we should be there all weekend selling if all goes well. So, about Robert Englund, I know that's been a big thing that people have been asking on the Horror Hound Facebook page. I'm sure that Nathan Hanneman, the promoter for Horror Hound Weekend, has been getting a lot of questions about that. The last thing I heard about that, in case you guys and gals have not heard, is that I believe emails will be going out tomorrow. If not already, the emails may have went out already advising VIP and Platinum Pass holders that I think tomorrow, Monday, they will be able to purchase, or not purchase, but get a time slot to be to either get a ticket to be in the line for Robert Englund's autograph, or they will get a ticket that's free, like a virtual queue ticket, to get the actual autograph ticket to get in line. I want to offer those two options because I'm not, there's been a lot of information that's come out, and you have to be discerning about what is hearsay and what is the actual thing. Okay. So, the last I heard from like the official Horror Hound site was that you were going to get a virtual queue ticket, but that there was still no 100% guarantee that you would actually be able to get an autograph ticket. They only have a certain amount of autograph tickets, folks. And it is my understanding that once they're sold out, they're sold out, because I heard that Robert Englund has carpal tunnel. I don't know that all the ins and outs of that, or the truth or validity of that. But I think I have heard, Robert Englund actually say that he can't sign as long as he used to. So please, just remember, have a little sympathy for not only Robert Englund, but for Nathan and his staff, because they are doing everything they can to make sure that this horror hound experience is the best it can be for you. And I've heard some people complain, been griping and complaining, but that's going to go on. And I'm not here to say now, don't say that, because that's not going to do any good other than to make people angry. And I'm not here to make anybody angry, but just, really think about what each individual needs to think about, what exactly goes into doing a horror convention. And if you've never done a horror convention, then you simply don't know what it's like. I have not done a horror convention. I don't think I could handle it. I don't think I could handle the pressure. So I say kudos. I say hats off to Nathan and any of the other horror convention promoters out there, or just convention promoters in general, that are able to put these shows on, 2 or 3 times a year, because Nathan, he does Horror Hound in the spring and he does it in the fall. I would be crazy, trying to do something like that. And, the last minute things that come up, as they always do with things, not just with conventions, but with anything, right? You're playing something and you're playing it the best that you can. And then at the 11th hour, something happens. I'll tell you a little story about, how that goes in our personal life. Steve purchased us a new dishwasher because we are in dire need of a new dishwasher, right? This dishwasher we have, it worked great for a lot of years. And Steve had this dishwasher in this house. This dishwasher was here when he moved into this house. And he says it's probably been here a total of 20 years. Or he's known about it for 20 years, right? And I came in on the last half of its lifespan, and now it's starting to not wash the dishes good. It's starting to leak a little water down at the bottom, because the seal is not good on it, and, et cetera, et cetera. So Steve, purchased us a new one, and he didn't feel comfortable installing it himself. I wouldn't feel comfortable installing it myself. So we bought it from Costco, or Steve bought it from Costco, and contractors were supposed to come between 1 and 5 yesterday. That meant we couldn't do anything else yesterday but just kind of hang around the house. It was coming on 5:30 and we hadn't heard anything from anybody, either the contractors themselves or the company they work for, to tell us anything. So Steve calls to check up on it, and they talk like they were, they were a little bit behind, which I tried to be understanding about it and all that. But they said that, they had a couple more to do, I think, and then they would get to us. Well, then, a few more hours go by, and it's around between 8 and 8:30. And Steve having to check his phone, he said, Well, they did try to call me and they texted me, but for whatever reason, his phone wasn't notifying him. So he called them back and they jabbered on something about, California time and stuff. I was like, what does California time have to do with, Kentucky time? But anyway, it's neither here nor there. The point being is we still don't have our dishwasher installed. Uh, and Steve said, he guess he would reschedule it for the morning hours this week, Tuesday or Wednesday maybe. Well, as far as I know, they've still not called, the contractor's still not called Steve to set it up. So I guess he's going to have to take the initiative and actually contact them to do that. But the final point I want to make about things is no matter how much we plan for things, when we think we got all our bases covered, there's always a chance that somebody will come along or something will come along and throw a wrench into the works. So I'm not asking people not to complain, but take it easy on Nathan. Take it easy on his staff. I would ask that you not go, and I'm not affiliated with Hound at all. This is not some affiliation I've got. I'm saying this as one human being talking to other human beings. I can understand your frustration, especially if you got a VIP or a platinum pass, and by golly, you want your autograph ticket for Robert Englund. I get that. But the thing you got to remember is, again, no matter how well you plan things out, no matter how well constructed a convention is, it doesn't matter if Nathan has dotted all his I's and crossed all his T's. There could be somebody else, as Nathan said, Robert Englund's management wanted to make some changes. So, what can Nathan do about that besides try to smooth things out and get things going in the right direction? Which I'm sure that is exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get you guys and gals what you want, but he's also got to work with Robert Englund's management. So nobody should be putting the blame solely on Hound. Nobody should be putting the blame on Hound, in my opinion, at all. They're trying to do the best they can with the stuff that they've been given, the tools they've been given, right? So, just if you see Nathan or you see one of the staff, be kind. That's all anybody could expect. And again, I have absolutely zero affiliation with Hound. I'm not getting any special perks for saying this, right? I'm just saying this as, like I said, one human being talking to you guys, other human beings out there. Okay. I'll be frank. I'll be honest. I was upset when I found out that everybody wasn't going to get an option to get an autograph and meet Robert Englund. But then, when the situation was explained to me and explained why things had to be done the way they had to be done, I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. Uh, but I also kept my frustration kind of private. I didn't, go, take to Facebook or take to YouTube or whatever and be ranting and raving about it. I rant and raved about it in private until I got calmed down about it. But in the end, I realized that they were Harham was doing what they thought best. And it, after I thought about it, it totally made sense, right? So, anyway, I've been on here for a little over 20 minutes, and I know this was, you may be thinking, well, gosh dang, you didn't give us a lot of information today. Well, it's getting down to the wire, and there's not a whole lot more that I can tell you about this particular convention. I tried to keep y'all abreast of the cancellations. I've tried to keep you abreast of the guest updates. But this is the final countdown to Horror Hound weekend. I did a final guest update, and I gave you a little more additional Robert Englund info in case you guys and gals needed that. I won't go over the photo ops again. I will tell you that they sold out of the session A photo ops with Robert Englund, but they did add a session B on Saturday. However, I will tell everybody that the session A photo op for Robert Englund is at 3:05 in the evening or afternoon. I believe that is Eastern time. So, session B is going to probably be quite a bit later. So, if you get a session B, be sure to check out the celeb photo op schedule to be sure that you are there at the right time. And remember, they don't generally want you there lining up and blocking areas any sooner than about 15 minutes until your photo op. Sorry. And that's just the lineup time. You're probably going to be waiting. I ain't even going to lie about it. I am prepared to wait. I'm prepared to wait for my photo op with Robert Englund. But don't expect to get in the line and just automatically get up there. That ain't how it works. They try to go as fast as they can. And it is pretty quick, but it ain't that quick. It ain't like instantaneous. So, I think if you get there any more than, like, if you try to get there an hour before time, they'll ask you to leave. So just a word of warning about that. But I think I am done here for the night. Me and my jet black hair. I did get my hair colored for Horror Hound weekend. And so, yeah, that's all from me. I think I've blabbed on enough. So I'm off like a dirty shirt. But before I go, I want to remind everybody, as I always do, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Let's kick Monday's ass, folks. And let's get this week over with so we can get to the weekend. Woo! Whether you're going to Horror Hound weekend or not, we want to make this weekend fantastic as always. I'm out of here, folks. But I'll see everybody next time.